Welcome to 2-Button Crew's Crew Cuts. My name is Simeon, and this week is Mega Man Week. That means a full week of discussing all things Mega and Manly. I don't have to tell you that I'm a huge fan of the guy. In fact, it's my favorite video game franchise of all time. This week, we're going to cover subjects that range from Best Original Series Weapon, to the death of Mega Man, to tackling one of the biggest video game debates ever. Which was better, Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3? But, in order to determine which game is better, we first have to determine, what is a Mega Man game? To be sure, there are many games with the Mega Man label on them, well over 100. But the core of the brand has carved out a distinct signature with its main titles. Today, we're going to look at some of the most important parts of that signature. Again, I won't be discussing the spin-off titles, I'll leave that for another time. And there's nothing wrong with them, they just don't carry that signature that Mega Man was built on. Things Mega Man doesn't need. There's some elements that many games build their games and franchises upon that the core Mega Man games simply don't care about, like localization for one. The biggest of these, though, is story. When talking about how great Mega Man games are, by and large, no one will mention the storyline. It's not particularly bad, and there is some story involved, but it just does what it needs to and then goes away, leaving you with the good stuff. Another thing it doesn't care about is character design. Sure, Mega Man is a great simple design, and there are several great designs of the characters, but most of the bosses, especially the Robot Masters, are questionably designed. Want to fight a gigantic electric pickle? How about some rusty farm equipment? These are things that fans make fun of, but eventually forget about, as that's not the main focus. Formula. The Mega Man games are formulaic. There's a level select screen, which lets you go into a number of bosses' levels, providing a non-linear experience. Once you get through the stage and defeat the boss, you get their power. Use that power against the other bosses in a rock, paper, scissors fashion. Once you've defeated the main stages, you move on to a set, or two, of ending levels. It's simple, predictable, and leads to a lot of personal strategies. Controls and mobility. The most important element to any Mega Man game is its controls. A true Mega Man game is going to have the tightest controls you can imagine, allowing you to jump, shoot, and slide your way through the levels and defeat the bad guys. It doesn't feel stiff, and it's not complicated. The only one to blame for your death is yourself, most of the time. There's also plenty of special transportation items to be found throughout the games, from magnetic light beam platform guns to robotic flying skateboard dogs. These all lead to any one game's unique feel. Weapons. This is what most people think of when they think of Mega Man. When you defeat a boss, you get their unique weapon. Every single one is different. Even if two are similar, there's always some small difference to distinguish them. There's a few stinkers in each game for sure, but there's always a few great ones you'll find yourself falling back on. Metal Blade is always what comes to everyone's mind, but no matter the game, you'll find a keeper. Difficulty. Mega Man games aren't the hardest games, but to be sure, they sure present a challenge. I think one thing that sets these games apart is that it's typically a fair challenge. You're not left feeling completely helpless, or that there's no way to beat the level. You just know it's a tough challenge, but one you will eventually be able to overcome. It's not like that last level on Ninja Gaiden where you know what you have to do, but you have no way of doing it because you can't move because you're getting hit every single second by a stupid eagle. I digress. Music. Lastly, if there's a legacy that the Mega Man franchise has left, it's definitely the music. Every game has excellent music. It keeps you rocking as it was intended to. Once, I played through the last half of Mega Man 4 just to hear the ending boss music. That was before I got my original series soundtrack though. I don't have to go back and do that again. In closing, I know that not every game with the Mega Man title doesn't fit this description. There's the Legends games, Battle Network games, Command Mission, and more. Those games are great and all, but I don't consider them Mega Man games with a capital M. They don't give the same experience that the series was built on. So, when I think of the Blue Bomber, These are always the elements that come to mind. Thank you guys for joining me for the first day of Mega Man Week. I hope to see you tomorrow.